security. Digital transactions often include robust security measures such as encryption and two-factor authentication. 7. Lower carbon footprint. Reduce paper usage. Lower carbon footprint. A cashless society reduces the carbon footprint associated with the printing, storing, and transporting of physical currency. 8. Increase transparency. A cashless society promotes transparency, therefore making transactions faster and more efficient. 9. Improved financial literacy. A cashless society promotes financial literacy as individuals are more likely to engage with financial services and manage their finances digitally. 10. Enhance social services. A cashless society promotes social services such as conditional cash transfers and social welfare programs. These points highlight the potential benefits associated with a cashless society, including economic efficiency, social benefits, and infrastructure development. Thank you.
All right, 2 minutes and 33 seconds on the clock. That's what's all it took to get him to give us his opening salvo. Please be reminded, for those of you who are following us and watching us online, the aim of the debate is not to find out who is right or wrong, but who is able to give up their points in a manner that is going to meet the criteria that the judges are going to be looking for. So presentation skills, diction, order in which your points are given, and also your general demeanor are also going to make the points for you during the course of the debate. But for now, let's take a quick break, and when we come back, we will get to hear from the opposer of the motion.
This is I Beg to Differ on 92.3 Nigeria Info. The conversation continues in a moment.
All right, so we are back. It's time to get to hear from the opposer of the motion, Ichili, Unwene, Sylvanus. Good morning to you.
Good morning, sir.
Okay, so I need to speak directly into the microphone so everyone around the world can hear you. Good morning once again.
Good morning, sir.
Okay, all right, so can you hear me clearly, please?
Yes, sir.
All right, so you have 4 minutes, all right, to give us your opening salvo here. You are opposing the motion that cashless society is beneficial for all. Once again, are you ready?
Yes, sir.
Your time, 4 minutes on the clock, starts now.
In relation to digital divide, according to the ITU, International Telecommunications Union, 4.1 billion people, which is a whopping 53% of the world's population, do not have access to the internet, limiting their ability to use digital payment services. Good morning, moderator, impartial judges, accurate timekeeper, fellow debaters, and distinguished ladies and gentlemen. I am Ichili Unwene, a student of the renowned Top Novella International School. Today, I'm worthy of discussing a pivotal question. Is a cashless society beneficial for all? I strongly oppose to this. The shift to a cashless economy is a threat to the autonomy of citizens and the anonymity of transactions, as said by Yevgeny Morozov. One drawback of implementing a cashless society is the exclusion of marginalized groups. Some individuals, such as the elderly, homeless, or those in poverty, may not have access to the internet or may not know how to use the technology. What about those with physical or cognitive disabilities? They live with disabilities and thus face challenges using digital payment systems such as navigating complex interfaces or using touch screens. We should also consider those with small businesses or who are street vendors, which is incredibly popular here in Nigeria. A cashless society relies heavily on internet connectivity and fast internet connectivity, which people with small businesses or who are street vendors may find really hard to use if they are in areas with low infrastructure. Let's come home now. In a country like ours with frequent power outages, can we truly be pragmatic that will successfully implement a cashless society? We should really be down to earth. A cashless society relies heavily on technology, and this can be prone to frequent power outages like we regularly see here in Nigeria. Again, I would like to add that a cashless society is prone to environmental impact. Nelson Mandela once said that the natural world is a precious gift and we must do everything in our power to protect it. This is the complete opposite of what we are trying to do if we implement a cashless society. Judges and audience, did you know that the production and disposal of smart devices such as smartphones or your credit cards can negatively impact the society, making it difficult for us to live on this society, and does the opposite of what we try to do, which is to protect the earth. Another thing is that a cashless society is prone to cybersecurity attacks. Digital information very high in a cashless society. Also, a cashless society increases debt and overspending. Judges can agree with me that in a cashless society, individuals are more likely to spend impulsively and accumulate debt for themselves because they do not feel the impact of withdrawing from their physical currency. As a thought, I would like to ask: would you rather prefer convenience to the detriment of your financial data, to the environment, or to the losses of jobs? I would certainly not. Let us say a big no to a cashless society because it is not beneficial. Thank you.
All right, 3 minutes and 43 seconds on the clock. That's what it took for her to get her opening statements. She is opposing the motion that a cashless society is beneficial for all. It's time for us to get to the rebuttals. We'll be back right after this, right here on I Beg to Differ Debate on 92.3 Nigeria Info.
I Beg to Differ Port Hackers Season 4. From 24 February to March 10, witness bright young minds make a case as to why they have the superior argument.
Societies do not grow nor assume identities in isolation, because as Vince Lombardi put it, individual commitment to a group effort is what makes a team work, a company work, a society work, and even a civilization work.
In many developing countries, masses sell up their votes to non-people with questionable character. They recycle old corrupt politicians because their corruption scandal makes little or no difference to their voting decision.
Go beyond the tension, show composure, exhibit fluency, show your oratory skills, and win 1 million naira.
It is villain, malicious, uncharitable for you to sum up such temerity to belittle the capacity of our beloved teachers.
I Beg to Differ Season 4, February 24 to March 10. Tune in weekdays 10 a.m. to 12 noon on 92.3 Nigeria Info.
All right, so welcome back, 90.3 Nigeria Info. We've had the opening salvo from both of these fine young students. Our topic this morning is the cashless society. Is it beneficial for all? Well, Master John is supporting the motion and Ms. Ichili is opposing the motion. Now, it's time for us to switch. The opposer of the motion is going to begin with her rebuttal statement. Once again, 4 minutes on the clock is the time set. And after that, we get to hear from Master John. I get back to the lady. Once again, Miss, are you ready?
Yes, sir.
Can you hear me, please?
Yes, sir.
All right, your time starts now.
My opponents mentioned financial inclusion as part of the benefits of a cashless society. I would like to refute that, saying that a cashless society excludes marginalized groups, immigrants and refugee populations, those with disabilities or the elderly may not have access to the internet or may not know how to use technology, thus limiting their ability to use digital payment systems. This counter the benefits that such as financial inclusion. Again, he talked on convenience. While it's true that a cashless society offers convenience, the disadvantages of a cashless society far outweighs the convenience of it. A cashless society is prone to so many disadvantages, which does not match to the benefit, saying that it's convenient. He also mentioned reduction in the risk of theft. Judges can agree with me that a cashless society is prone to cyber attacks, such as phishing of personal data, which increases the risk of theft and reduces security. This leads me to his next point, which is security. A cashless society does the opposite of that. while it's true that maybe a cashless society may be secure, it is more prone to some online attacks like hackers. We are prone to hackers of our personal data, which doesn't make the claim that security is part of the benefits a clear claim. He also talked on lower carbon footprints, which could also be environmental impacts. Credit cards or debit cards or your smartphones are when disposed or produced, they impact the environment negatively. Remember, Mary Robinson once said that climate change is not an environmental issue. It's not just an environmental issue, but also a human rights issue. When we produce or dispose our digital devices, we increase the risk of environmental impacts. He also talked on financial literacy. There are poor people, there are homeless people who do not have a stable place to call their home. People who are the elderly in society, people who are immigrants or refugees. Can you really think that we can impose financial literacy to these ones? They may live in areas with low infrastructure, thus limiting their exposure to finances or cashless society at large. He also talked improved tax collection. The cashless society offers a formal economy, thus reducing the tax base we collect. When we do not implement a cashless society, we reduce the formal economy and thus increase our fair share to the tax base. And this tax base can provide resources that can help in public services, infrastructure, and even assisting the marginalized groups at large. He talked on reducing costs. In the market today, we see business owners who are very competitive. They want to gain more customers. Thus, they may reduce or even zero out the transaction costs that a cashless society imposes. He also talked on transparency. How do we really know who we are dealing with when we are online? When we use cashless society. From our homes, we can easily order things online, and we do not know when we are being hacked into or when we are going to lose our private data. Thank you for listening.
All right, thank you. 3 minutes and 58 seconds on the clock. She has given her rebuttal. It's time for us to get to listen to the supporter of the motion and his rebuttal. Stay tuned right here, 92.3 Nigeria Info.
This is I Beg to Differ on 92.3 Nigeria Info. The conversation continues in a moment.
All right, so we're back right here on 92.3 Nigeria Info. Master John is about to deliver his own rebuttal. Once again, it's still a balanced play. He will have 4 minutes on the clock, and you also, the listener, will have time to listen and then make up your own minds. Would you agree with the outcome from the judges? Only time will tell. But for now, let's get